First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bracha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Proverbs, the 23rd chapter. When thou sittest to eat with a ruler, consider diligently what is before thee, and put a knife to thy throat, if thou be a man given to appetite. So when you go, if you're, say, a ruler has made a banquet and you're invited, be very mindful of what they've put in front of you. And if you're one who eats a lot, it says, put a knife to thy throat, meaning control your appetite. Be not desirous of his dainties, for they are deceitful meat. So it says here, don't desire all the delicacies, for he might be trying to trick you, right? He might be testing you. Labor not to be rich. Cease from thine own wisdom. It says here, don't wear yourself out trying to get rich. Be wise enough to know when to quit. And in the NKJV, it says, do not overwork to be rich because of your own understanding. Cease, right? Know when to quit. Wilt thou set thine eyes upon that which is not? For riches certainly make themselves wings. So here he likens riches onto that which is not, meaning that it's you may have it, but just as quickly as you get it, you lose it because you spend it. So it says riches certainly make themselves wings. They fly away as an eagle toward heaven. That's how quickly money leaves you, as though it had wings to fly out your pockets. Eat thou not the bread of him that hath an evil eye, neither desire thou his dainty meats. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. So, don't eat the bread offered to you by one that has an evil eye, okay? Or desire his meats, or whatever he may have. For as he thinketh, which is his evilness, so is he. Eat and drink, saith he to thee, but his heart is not with thee. You see that? So he may, invite you. He may bid you to go ahead and eat, right? Look, it says here, they're always thinking about how much it costs. Eat and drink, they say, but they don't mean it. So they're telling you, yeah, but in their mind, it's like, nah. The morsel which thou hast eaten shalt thou vomit up, and lose thy sweet words. It says here, you will throw up what little you've eaten, and your compliments will be wasted. And that's basically, whatever it is that you ate of him, he may feign himself to be generous and to offer it to you freely, but eventually you're going to pay for it. Okay, it's like bringing it back up. You're going to pay for it, and you're going to realize that all those like sweet words, oh, this guy is generous, this guy is this, that's all out the window. Speak not in the ears of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of thy words. Yeah, because fools do not, wisdom is too high for a fool. It's like casting your pearl to swine. They're not going to value it. So don't waste your time. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. Let's read that in the NLT. Don't cheat your neighbor by moving the ancient boundary markers. Don't take the land of defenseless orphans. Yeah, you may have, say, like your land bordered to somebody else's, your field bordered to somebody else's. Don't intrude into part of their land, because it's not yours. So as it says, for their Redeemer is mighty. Who is their Redeemer? The Lord. He shall plead their cause with thee. So you may think, oh, that's the fatherless, that's an orphan. What are they going to do, right? Well, there's one that fighteth for them, which is the Lord. And he's the one who's going to plead their cause. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. And let's go into that word instruction here. So it says here, discipline, right? Chastening, correction. So when you give your heart, or you apply it to instruction or to discipline, you allow yourself to be able to learn, because discipline is one of the first steps to gaining wisdom. So as it says, apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ears to the words of knowledge. So listen, take heed. Withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. So don't be afraid of correcting your child or chastising them, because beating their ass or whipping them for doing something wrong is not going to kill them, but it's going to correct them. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell, because you are instilling in him a righteous habits, good things, and driving away that folly from them, so that in the future, when their consequences have greater actions, they will not end up in bringing upon themselves destruction due to a poor upbringing. My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine, because that would mean you have taken heed to his words. Yea, my reins shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Lord all day long. See, so sinners, they may look like they're having fun and they're free from the bond of discipline through the discipline that righteousness brings, but don't envy them, because their end is going to be destruction. But rather remain in the fear of the Lord all day long. For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. See, there's going to come a point in time when they're going to meet their end and judgment is going to come. But your expectation or your reward or what to look forward to is not, it won't be cut off. You're not going to lose it. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Okay, and how do you guide your heart in the way? By keeping the words of wisdom. Okay, to lead your mind in a disciplined manner. Okay, which will, one, keep you out of trouble, but two, it'll bring you, into righteousness. Back up. Verse 20, be not among wine bibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. NLT, it says here, do not carouse with drunkards or feast with gluttons. Right? That's basically, hanging around the wrong crowd, because what comes of them? It's not going to be righteous things. Okay, and in one of the Proverbs, it says, wine is a mocker, and strong drink is raging. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty. Right? Those that spend all their lives just drinking and giving into, the desires of the flesh, they lack discipline, and they're going to come to poverty. It says, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Let's go into that word drowsiness. It says here, indolence, right? Sleepiness, drowsiness, that's laziness. Okay, and it's gonna clothe a man in rags, meaning it'll bring you to poverty, because laziness, laziness is a lack of hard work, right? If you're not working hard, or if you're not working at all, guess what? You're not gonna be able to, make a living. Hearken unto thy father that begat thee, and despise not thy mother when she is old. Buy the truth and sell it not. Right? And why? Because the instructions of your father and mother are for your betterment. So take heed to their words, and don't forsake your parents when they're old. That's a part of honoring them. Buy the truth and sell it not. Also wisdom and instruction and understanding. See? So how do you buy the truth? Right? The truth that we have, this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you buy it with your time, right? With your attentiveness, with your mind. And when you desire that of the Lord and he gives it to you, you're not supposed to actually sell it. One, meaning once you've obtained it, don't give it up. Don't give it away, right? Don't let go of it. But number two, you're not supposed to try and make merchandise off of this truth. The father of the righteous shall greatly rejoice, and he that begetteth a wise child shall have joy of him. Why? Because a wise child is going to bring glory and honor to their house, and they're going to make their parents proud. Thy father and thy mother shall be glad, and she that bare thee shall rejoice. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways. Give me your heart, meaning give your mind, like be attentive to the instructions that I'm giving you. And let thine eyes observe my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch. A whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. Meaning that they're traps. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men. So when you fall prey to her, she's like a predator, right? She's looking to deceive you and draw you into her grasp, right? As it says, she lieth wait as for a prey. So if you fall for her seductive words, you're going to be that prey. And increaseth the transgressors among men. She hides, in NLT, she hides and waits like a robber, eager to make more men unfaithful. And this can apply to, actual women and also to left-hand philosophies. And that's what they ended up doing. Right? They drag you away from the Lord. Who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babbling? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. So those that are constantly drinking, they're the ones who end up having woe, right? Destruction, sorrow, contentions, because that's what the influence of wine does to them, right? They babble, they have wounds without cause. It says, who hath redness of eyes? These are all effects of those that tarry long at the wine. Verse 31, look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. It says here in the NLT, don't gaze at the wine, seeing how red it is, how it sparkles in the cup, how smoothly it goes down. Meaning, don't be enticed in it, at a time when you're not supposed to, right? Don't give into it. As it says, at the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder. Because if you're not careful with how you drink, and you just succumb to how desirous it looks, the end result of it is going to be like a bite of a serpent or the sting of an adder, which is a snake, because it might cause you to do something or make an error that you're going to regret. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. See, because once you're under that influence, that's why people end up going to the club. Sometimes they get so drunk they take any woman home, might be a big back, and you wake up with her. You turn around, you see something unpleasant, right? But because your sense of judgment is void, right? It's thrown off. And thine heart shall utter perverse things out of the influence of that wine. Also, as it says here, you will see hallucinations. You will say crazy things, right? NKJV, your eyes will see strange things, and your heart will utter perverse things. And sometimes when you get extremely drunk, you start to have that effect on you. Now it's not about being merry or even doing it in balance, but now you're going overboard, and this is where it becomes dangerous. Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. Meaning you're not going to be able to have balance or your control, right? Like when you walk, it's like it's like the ground is moving under you. It says you will stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, clinging to a swaying mast. They have stricken me, shalt thou say, and I was not sick. They have beaten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. That is the influence of wine, right? Meaning that you didn't feel it, right? You barely feel anything. So they can hit you, and it's like, as it says, thou shalt say, I was not sick, I wasn't hurt, right? They beat me and I felt it not. And then when shall I awake, right? When you wake up, you desire to go back and do it again. It says, and you will say, they hit me, but I didn't feel it. I didn't even know when they beat me up. When will I wake up so I can look for another drink? And then if you get to that point, you need a prayer. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the book of Proverbs, the 23rd chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham, Recha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.